I'll let you take the 5 lights as well, Scar. I've got
Incoming
Marcelo
Crofty
and Rockamad
impression.
at the front.
We've got the Crofty voice.
Yeah.
As we get ready just for the game to load to let batters in to his grid slot. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a long wait. Are you ready for this? I certainly am, as we go to the 5 red lights, the Bahrain Grand Prix, and it's lights out and away we go. Decent start for the Alpine, but it's even better one from Sam as he goes up to get chasing. Already few moving places, Alan especially in that area. Into turn 1 we go. Sam ahead now of Rocker Mad. Big move there as a Ferrari goes up the inside of the Mercedes Van Dorn. They push each other wide heavily. They see no issues at the back of the grid. Into turn 4, here we go. It's a Mad versus Sam now. Not going to go for the move yet. A little lock up from Sam. You see the tyre marks into the gravel, into the tarmac even. Into the S section now. Sam leading still by around 0.3 of a second. And gains, and not the start. Ahmad would have wanted a risk as well, as he's making up a few places. Paul from, I believe, 19th on the grid up to 17th now. As we see now, again, positions gained that I can see now. Ranga's lost 6, so he's had a horrific start, maybe damage as well. +4 for Morgan, big from him. You see other big gainers, including Dream Team on that soft. What did I say? Darren now is at the back of the field from 13th at the start. And
I'm not entirely too sure what happened there with Darren. I was too busy trying to kind of keep up with who you were talking to on the stream there, so I've only kind of been keeping my eye on the front. But Sam initially got a slower start as he's already kind of dictating the line into the final corner. But Rockamad got the better launch, but Sam got up the gears quicker, and I think being later on the brakes into turn 1 and the inside has really allowed the Red Bull driver to take the lead here, as he's having to already try and take everybody close to the pit lane there and just get them onto the dirty side of the track and protect the inside line. It is only lap 2, so don't let the lap counter deceive the viewers. It's
I've
still
just seen
the
it as
same
well.
glitches, and we've got cars going side to side in the background there, but it is
the top 10, I think.
Just wait to the cross.
Yeah, it'll be 10th. That's in the lead. That's
sector 1.
Yeah, I love this game still.
I love this game.
The game. Oh, it's some. Oh my word.
Oh, and we've got a Ferrari Elite up the inside of Rockamad at turn 7. Bit forceful, but the job is done. Rockamad just not quite up to speed yet, as he has been doing to third, and Van Dorn, it does size a lap down, and Rockamad drifting off the track at turn 10, and that's allowed not only Van Dorn through, but also Klutzy Winder. So Rockamad and
go for it.
He's going back
contact.
up the inside. And there's contact, banging wheels, and Klutzy Winter's just holding it round the outside. He will have the inside into sector 3, and
Morgan will be licking his lips.
already Morgan's right on the tail, and there's a wee gap forming to Bennett. So we are kind of seeing a fair bit of chopping and changing, wee bit of wheel banging, wee bit of sparks after the back of the Mercedes there in third place. But Sam already outside the DRS, Scar.
Massive lead for him now. It's still going to gain. So whether, Risk made it past Van Dorn earlier on, then also he's now got past Klutzy as well. That was at the start a great start for him, and it's just a weird gap near the back to 13th with Fem Pest. So that's just, the conserving set of people. We see Dream Team's now past Alan, I believe, going off the standings. Yeah, that would have just happened. As I see the battery usage, it's a lot of battery usage from Risk and Sam. Van Dorn on that 80% still, so he's going to have a lot. It's around that 70% area, is the rough average of that area coming in right now. But it's still a massive gap as there's yellow flags, and that's an AlphaTauri, I believe, off the track. That is Alan, who had made a move past in the previous set of corners. Not what you want to see from the AlphaTauri, who started, pretty well. He started 12th, he's back at 20th, and quite a way off ETSR. Darren even. Keep my phone.
I've seen the chat. I've seen Charlie commenting in the chat saying Morgan's connection's lagging really bad, so we've jumped on board just to kind of see. Oh, and Rockamad spun! Rockamad spun, and he's got back on the track! Oh no! And there's massive contact, and Rockamad's out. Oh, and Connor's nearly hit into the side of his teammate, and he's out. He's straight out.
Oh, there's got to be a safety car for this.
The pulse. Oh, and Alan's just done it in sympathy up the hill as well, and he's luckier than the Alpine driver. We'll get a close shot of the Alpine there. Front left, you can see it's bent inward there, so Rockamad just wasn't. Oh, and we've got some
And it involved
drivers
as well.
coming in as well. So drivers coming in anticipating a safety car, or maybe just damaged.
No,
Bennett was just
I think
massively unlucky.
I think he was the one that smashed into originally,
Oh,
but
and we've got Klutzy Winter. Sorry, Scar. The battle for P2 is intensifying. Klutzy Winter
very
does
wide.
go off the track though, but Elite Risk just keeping the place and almost turns defence into attack as he goes for Van Dorn.
He's gonna. I reckon he'll get it looking up into turn 10, but the gap's got to be there, which it is massively. But that's a massive, implication on that race now. That I said that top 5 have got to get away well. If it was going off the quality pace, and they pretty much have minus Aussie Rock, who is out of the race. But, how much he could have maybe done to prevent other cars getting damaged in that as well, who knows? But it didn't look very good. And I'm surprised I wasn't a safety car, certainly exactly where he was parked. Nice ignoring of yellow flags from some drivers there from 2 men in the chat. I think it's a messy situation as well. Not much he can do.
I was literally on. I was just on board with Morgan because I would tell, and the McLaren's. It's happened to the McLaren. It's happened to Badders as well.
He's recovered though.
Oh, and he's got no wing. Turn 12 really proven to be a bit of a pain in the back end for some drivers in the early stages. Is it
Van Dorn?
Like,
Risk has gone through on Van Dorn. Whether he'll have the rest of the same part of it, Klutzy will be licking his lips at this like Morgan was almost earlier. Probably not close enough though. I doubt anyone's be close enough. Maybe Van Dorn has a little go. Spaniard's got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. I don't think it's tyre wear. I don't think they fall off that early in the end. Ballas has just firmed it that nothing's more coming from this race. He retires in the pit lane. Not what you want to see from McLaren. Because I'm pretty sure there was a few comments for love in that McLaren chat from Sprightly.
Aye, definitely. Like McLaren and Alpine already losing a driver on lap 5 of 29, and in the first race of the season, I feel like, obviously Rocket Mud didn't really have much of a choice because his wheel came off. And Badders, I feel like maybe, because you never know, it's still another 24 laps. That could be a safety car. You could get right back into this race, but I don't know if that's. Oh, and Elise went! And Elise went for P2. That's big contact. Oh, and that's big. That'll be a safety car. See if I've literally just said.
My. I'm having a few Gary Neville-isms.
Like, that to me would be a safety car. That is brutal.
If Ahmad wasn't a safety car, nothing's a safety car. Because Ahmad was parked right on the apex of that corner. As we see Connor past Hamey in the midst of this, a few more cars, I believe. It's just because of the pits are risk, but that is massive. So now it's basically. It's a Sam versus who at this point, 3.5 seconds to the lead. He's got that gap nicely done. As we see now, Hamey round the outside of turn 4, looking for where Max Verstappen overtook Hamilton in the real life Grand Prix. No, giving back a positions though. He's going to go for into 5. Very nothing.
Side by side. Connor, no gain of an inch there. I think that was absolutely on the limit for the pair of them there, as Hammy is trying to get the best out of his soft tyres. He's going to have to watch turn 10 as the trickiest braking zone in the track, I would think. Well, in my personal experience, I feel like everybody's personal experience, because it is a downhill braking zone, and Hammy looking to be quicker, but Connor up to P5, benefiting from the misfortune, and on the medium tyres he can go long, so I feel he is in a very commanding position. And as you were saying, Sam, 3-second lead, total control, 6 laps. He got the lead in lap 1, turn 1, and I think he's just kind of ran with it. So he is looking to be the head honcho as we're about to start the 7th lap out of 29. But this battle for P5 continues to rage. And behind this is a train for P7 with Liam, who's going to take Tempest into the pits.
Ranga in the pits. Liam is as well. So is this the pit window? I should know this, but I don't. Apparently safety cars are reduced, which means... you can see it's evident in that it's on reduced. But from what I'd heard, unless they've magically fixed it, it was... You would normally see that for an incident of that calibre as such. Yeah, massive start
Like,
from Smoke as well. Under the radar, started 17th, so he cut you off. He's up 10 places.
that's right.
Fempest
Oh, and
as
Hammy's
well.
went! Sorry, just to cut you off. Hammy's away.
What goes around
Hammy's
comes
into the
around.
law. Hammy's into the law. Just giving you the old Uno reverse card there, because I was just on board with Connor, and I just seen Hammy spinning round, and I'm like, oh no, go and talk about that. So Hammy, who after just getting by Connor, spins at turn 5. I don't know if this is just. I don't know if these are just wee subconscious mistakes, or the tyres are really starting to have a toll on some of the drivers as well, because he has on 6-lap-old softs as well, Scar, so I don't know if maybe that is the pit window. I feel like it'd be a bit longer, like lap 9, lap 10, and then jump onto the hards for there. Unless I'm maybe just stretching it as Clutzy Winter's left, but I think he's retired. Oh, he
Yeah,
crashed.
he did.
So
Yeah, he was the third one.
he's left. He's no reason to really kind of to be here. But
you look at the 5, 6, 7 complex as such, you know, that back curb is an Alpha Tauri's now off the track. I think it's Alan, yeah, he's round as well into the, you know, the styrofoam, wherever the material is. He's going to have to let Risk
oh,
go.
and he's going to have to watch! Oh, he's off the track, never mind. I've kind of completely over-dramatised that.
Yeah.
But...
I say, you know,
but,
the 5, 6, 7 complex and turn 12. I mean, turn 12 has always been a pain. You know, you accelerate on the curb and you're done for. This year, also the new curb mechanics in the whole system as such. You know, 5, 6, 7's a bigger pain than what it needs to be, personally, but you know, I don't mind a bit of realism. That's probably catching a lot of drivers out as well.
Aye, but this is the kind of question that I've kind of got on my mind now, Scar, is the fact that if we're running races with a reduced safety car and we're seeing incidents like Rockamad getting like losing the car on a curb, losing a wheel, and then the car's just ricocheting onto the apex, and then we had like big accidents with Clutzy Winter and Elite Risks up there as well, like, and we're not seeing any kind of caution for that other than a yellow flag. Like,
I think the safety
feel
car
like
was off for the test races, I'm pretty sure.
I feel like if that's the case, we might not even see a safety car for anything. Like, because I feel like they were both safety car warranted incidents.
Well, yeah, it's not even a virtual as well, it's literally nothing. It clearly shows, well done Cody's, you've done your work on the reduced safety cars, now give us a safety car for that type of incident. Because unless you want to see, you know, cars parked in apexes of, you know, decently fast corners, then clearly they haven't done their research enough. As we've seen another free penalty for Dream Team, I believe he's on 8 now, unless he'd served some in a pit stop. No, he hasn't yet, he hasn't made a stop at all, as the lead is 1.6 from Connor to Fem. Smoke behind him as well, decent start from them to see, you know, a few pitters like Ranga, like Sam, currently sat in 8th, you know, 2 seconds. He's in a little world of his own right now, but that's massive. He's got around, you know, that 1-6 gap to Van Dorn, Morgan, even further behind. Ranga, even then, like, it's the same, like 1.9, 2-second gaps from each driver, and that, you know, I would say original top 4, but it can't really be original with all the incidents we've had.
No, that's exactly it, and I've just seen that in the chat as well. Like, I don't know who's manning the ARL comms channel. Is it Tuman?
Yeah,
because he says, I question how many 50% races people have done online here with the number of spinners that have been, and like, I mean, to be fair, like, see, honestly, like, they're the same kind of mistakes I'd make day in, day out on Bahrain. Like, that's what I was like very early on, and that's what I'm still like. I'm not looking forward to Sunday's race when it comes to coming to actually driving, because I don't like the Cubs. I get the realism and such, but the general challenge is quite daunting on the mind and the mental state. But we'll talk about that in a minute. But we're going to see smoke, and that's an Alpha Tauri, Alan.
Yeah,
again,
and then
at turn 6.
Someone in the pits has hit the wall. I think Hammy. I believe he's had an issue. Yeah, I think it's at the end of the turn. As Darren's now around at turn 12. I have no idea what's happened to Hammy. It's like the Jack Aitken spot where he spun it in the Sakir Grand Prix.
And he's just kind of spun it in the other direction. He went to the right. I think he went to the right-hand side because he was coming for the right. So I don't know if he's maybe just kind of clipped the inside and just went run further than he originally planned to. But I'm on board with, like, there's 2 good wee battles forming at the front with Fempest and Smoke for P2, and then Sem and VR for P4. So If they two groups kind of start battling, it might allow Connor to try and eke the lead out a wee bit there and put him in a stronger position. So I'll be interested to kind of see how that unfolds at the front. But as you were saying, Sam, P7, hard tyres, on to the end.
I
think that could be it.
That'll be don't forget though, Van Dorn and Morgan will be two-stop and go off the medium, so...
Oh, and Sims went wide. Went wide. Sorry, Scar, this battle for P4 really heating up there. I don't know if Sims just made a wee mistake or the tyres were maybe just kind of being pushed to the limits there, but it's going to allow VR a run into the DRS zone.
Not a good exit.
A good bit of the... And Sims already kind of getting a wee wiggle on. Is he going to go and defend it? Or
He's
is
got
VR
this.
going to have a nice wee easy run? Aye.
Wait for turn 4.
Into the...
What you've got to
the
do
braking
now.
zone.
Smoke was gaining up until the DRS section. Let's see if he can get anywhere near for this battle for on-track P2. Now, you barely get anything with that DRS section at the top. And yeah, so whether, you know... Paul may have wanted a bit more help in terms of, you know, if Sem, you know, if he is the slower driver between the two, he could have helped out a little bit to get, you know, Paul closer, but that isn't going to happen. Unfortunately for him, as we see now, Sam starting to catch that pack of non-pitters yet, the ones that started on mediums without any issues. Van Dorn's actually gained quite a bit.
Aye, he's closing right into Sam, so has Van Dorn gone for the two-stop here then? Because he was on sauce at the start. Is he going to go two-stop?
Got to with that pace. He'll burn the tyres out, he'll wear him too much. Also just clocked as Van Dorn in the Mercedes. If only that had happened in real life. Very fitting.
I think like
Oh,
I mean, true. He does drive for the Formula E team now, so he does. I was about to say, I don't think he might be he's not quite in the running the Mercedes AMG, but for F1. But I'm looking at this battle for P2 again, Scar, and Smoke's in a very strong position here because he's got 80% of his battery. And I think he might just be using it here. I think he's heard me. I think he's tapped into the radio here, up the inside. And this is for P2. And Connor's just right there, Scar. I don't know if Connor's made a wee mistake, but they've definitely closed it. It was 1.5.
I was watching.
Well, it's back up to 1.5 actually. It's 1.1 now, so...
Smoke's going to go for it. Yes, he is. Go on, let's see it. Switch back on from Fempus. Not particularly looking strong there. Just maybe relinquishing that battle as such, but like I said earlier, Liam had spun it from 14th at turn 12, so it's another spinner at turn 12. You can't, at this rate, it's just keep on the track, no mistakes, and we'll be in a very, very good position. To see Hamey on the fastest lap. As well, we see Van Dorn and Paul. Van Dorn has just got past, so Paul may be playing it a little bit longer to get those fresher hards, but may come to no avail because he, will be in the danger of the undercut section of... Oh, he's pulling it.
And
what's it, 23 around here? Which will be, it'll be in between Bennett and Liam, I'm pretty sure. Barring a miracle.
I feel like that's where they could be slotting in, but now with Smoke getting past Fempest, it's allowed Smoke to go after Connor, and
his pace.
And Smoke's pace is kind of starting to be unleashed here as the mediums are kind of maybe hitting the pit window. I feel like this is kind of the time you'd really want to jump out of the hards with lap 14, 15, so Smoke's really kind of been doing good tyre management there and looking to be in the strongest position when it comes to the final laps of the medium stint.
Van Dorn getting very close to the gearbox of Sam as we see VR entering the pits from what I believe was 6th or 7th. But now see that DRS train's going to start forming with Sam at the helm. Not going to be close enough. Maybe if Sam didn't have DRS, there's a chance on. But look at Sam's position here. Sam's going to want him to get out of the way as quickly as possible because he is just a mobile chicane right now for him.
Oh, and Van Dorn's touched the curb. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to scream there, but I was just on board. You were like just sitting, just telling the viewers a wee story about the race and just telling us how it was all unfolding, and then the next thing we knew, Van Dorn was just getting sent for a spin, and I think that's Alan, that's VR this time, up at the top of the hill, and he's got the watch. Oh, that's the Mercedes. Liam just getting by him there, and that looked a bit sketchy for the camera angle that I saw. in the AlphaTauri there. But I'm going to jump back out the battle at the front as soon as we see Hammy go up the inside the Darn. Darn lets him have that, and he goes for the switchback. But we're going to jump on board with Smoke, who's going to probably have Connor. Both of them racing to the pits. Smoke crosses the pit entry line. He does cross the pit entry line there, but we'll see. I think Smoke was maybe just going for a bit of slipstream and maybe anticipating Connor to go a bit longer on that stint, but Connor's jumped in and he's maybe seen a wee gap to jump into. We'll see where he comes out. I'll jump on board with him actually now that the battle for the lead's kind of diluted. He should come out in front of Elite, and this is Hards. This is for the Hards. Elite is coming down the pits, and Connor into P10.
I'd love to tell you what's happening.
Work.
But I've been DC'd from the game.
Tell us what's happening. Go, tell us what's happening. Right,
well,
right,
I physically can't. I got kicked out of the game somehow.
Like,
oh, I love this game.
It's absolutely, it's so, like, this race is just...
Oh, cheers, I'm Angie Legend. you get my driver of the day just for that.
Who are we getting driver of the day to?
I'm just for sending in production. I've just seen in the chat S2 HO, one of the league owners, just put you know, a little shout out for our charity partners, Get Well Gamers. Say charity that take your donations of old consoles or games, or maybe the current ones if you're generous enough, and send them to kids to give kids a power up. They also rely on cash donations, which go towards activities. So it sounds like a great charity to go to.
And you,
I can't get in. Make sure sign into an Xbox.
You've left the session.
Make sure you're signed into an Xbox Live profile and your connection is okay. Stop chatting.
You're still here. Let me just quickly get you back in before I go down the pit straight with Conrad and Elite Risk. So I'll just get you back in there. Apologies for the slight glitch in the slight diversion there. Van Don does get up the inside of Morgan into turn 1 and does get P6, but he's going to have to try and well, he's not actually lost all that much time, because he was right behind Sam. He's only like about 2 and a bit seconds behind. So he is still kind of thereabouts, but Sam is on to the end. Van Don will probably need to pit again. Same with Morgan. Ranga P8, and you've left the session again. Oh, and that's a Red Bull. That's Sam. Sam spun. Oh! Sam spun on turn 6. And you left the session, and I didn't get to see it. I've just seen it on the map there, but Sam has spun on the turn 6 curb, and that is claiming quite a lot of drivers. There's a lot of drivers just running the car a wee bit too wide, and honestly, Scar, I think it might come down to the handling model of the game.
Might be down to that.
It's very understeery. If you've played the game, if like league racers that are tuning in, if viewers that have experience with the game are tuning in, oh, there's a crash, and that's Sam. Sam's in the what? Turn 12, and he's going to have to watch, and he's spun it round to try and avoid the wall, but he's just done a free. He's just. Oh no, that's Connor, and that's both of them out, and oh, that's a safety car.
I hate that I'm missing this, but it's perfect time for me. But wow.
Alright, I'll get you back.
Just from I restarted my game, but just from the sounds and emotions, it's thrilling.
It's such, honestly, Scar, it's such a mess. It's turn 12. It's the same kind of thing there, and I don't know. I really don't. I don't know how to explain it. I'm kind of lost for words myself. Like, that's an incident that really shouldn't have been. Because, like, to kind of explain it, like, Sam had made the spin up the hill. And he lit up the rears to get back onto the track, spun and kind of faced backwards, and then did it again and spun and kind of went sideways and just stopped. And then Connor had really nowhere to go. So I don't know. Sam's just trying to get himself up and gone again, and Connor's coming up there with some speed and just doesn't really know. There's nowhere to go. There is absolutely nowhere for Connor. And I think it was Elite Risks behind him. Nowhere for them to go. I think Elite Risks is had to pit. And he's come back in. He's come back in. We're seeing some drive-through penalties coming in for the safety car, so the deltas will get tested as well with that. But
you know a safety car works. I'm back in the game. Let's go. But yeah, as I said earlier, like 30 seconds ago. Smoke and Fempest in an unreal position. Paul as well. Obviously not hitting. Did Smoke and Fempest not pit? What? Now they must have been miles ahead. I haven't got my track map on. Yeah, so it might actually be Van Dorn that takes the lead in this. He's gonna get off those mediums. He will.
No,
so this has been brilliant. This is brilliant for Smoke and Fempus. This is what they kind of waited for. I did, say it as an inkling of a safety car coming out later. Dragging it out if you start on the hards. I don't know if it actually did start on the hards or not. I can't remember who it was. There was someone. It was a change last second. But anyway, so that's huge now. But it's hard tyres for Fempus and softs for Smoke. I think he's thrown it.
I think it's a bit. Owen Paul's going to beat. No, he's not going to beat Van Dorn. But Van Dorn does go deep. But aye. Right, Smoke does lead us under the safety car, right, so we've got a wee bit of time to just collect our breath and just digest, just get our heads back on our shoulders and just discuss what's been happening. But
Stuart's
Smoke...
fun.
Oh, the Stuart's will have a good time. I'll kind of maybe keep myself tight-lipped on that one, but...
What have you got previous?
Exactly.
Got beef with the man,
because if it's not the stewards, it'll be the appeal. So it's one of the two, and I'm the appeal. So, no, it's I'm kind of looking through the chat just to kind of see, because I was only on board with Sam watching him get up and gone again, and I seen Connor and Elite coming up, and I've seen Scott in the chat saying where people like paying attention to the yellow flags. Truthfully, from my perspective, it's a bit hard to tell. Because I didn't have the records of Connor slowing down. I didn't have the records of Elite slowing down on the screen. So whether they actually did slow down or not is a bit inconclusive to my viewing. But I think just due to the nature of the incident as well, like it's a very when you see yellows, you do tend to kind of take a bit more caution. And most drivers in the league, they have other drivers, so like there is like a joint constructors championship. So say for this the Div 1 race, Red Bull and Alpine and Aston Martin drivers for other divisions will kind of be telling their drivers in this division like what's up. Like they're like spotters, like in IndyCar, like they're spotters. They'll say, oh, this is happening, this is the strategy, do this, do this, do that. Like, and I think not everybody has that, and sometimes like drivers don't really have the full map up on the screen, so they don't really know. They're just left to kind of gauge on what the yellow flags are saying, and sometimes the yellow flags they just come out as a glitch. But I don't really know. I'd have to kind of look that one back, but I don't want to look back and just hear myself screaming down the mic. So
I'll have to look back to actually see what happened myself.
But viewers, it's like lap 16 to 18, that kind of window you're looking in. But I'm kind of letting the chat just kind of discuss the point, because I'll know of. I only seen it from Sam's perspective, and I could only see Connor Elite coming up the hill. But I'll kind of let the chat form their own conclusions to that, and we'll kind of read some of them out and just kind of pick up what really happened as we see a wee spark out of the back of the Aston Martin there. Smoke does lead, so Smoke... Oh, but this is the thing though, because when Alan joins the back of this Q Scar, Smoke's going to have to make the softs last 10 laps.
I think it'll get next lap.
After 6.
I don't think it'll be close enough, because it's the start of the sector 3. Oh, it might be actually, to be fair. It's always the start of the sector 3 timing. That's when the safety car will decide whether it's in or not. But if we look at the tyres situation now, it's the 3 different compounds for the top 3. So it's softs for Smoke, hards for Fempus, mediums for Van Dorn, and it's Paul on the softs, and it's everyone else on the mediums except for Alan, who's on the hards. Pens wise as well, they could be massive. You've got drive-through safety car in this lap then. Just very quickly, the Haas cars, both for penalties, Hamey has a 3, Liam has a drive-through, so that's probably the end of his race, as well as Dream Team's that drive-through as well, but Morgan just has that 3 second. But everyone, pretty much, unless you're on a soft or a hard, are on the same playing field as we get ready. The weaving begins. I'm going to eventually lose my breath again from another race restart. Going to turn into Eminem as we go around the final corner. As he's gone to floor it now, maybe a bit early. You see, though, Fempus always caught him napping heavily. This is massive now. Smoker's got to get their race on. As we're underway, Van Dorn's going to get past Vempus potentially as we see the drive through from Dream Team being served. Down the inside goes Van Dorn. Got to get ahead to have any chance of winning this race, and he does that just so, as does Paul as he forces him wide, and he's dropped
that's Dozzy! Oh,
and
that's
he's
Dozzy!
out of the leash. Wait, my time Scottish. No idea.
And
it's another incident. And then the Mercedes is very slow. Liam is around, a massive power in the back as we see Haming looking to get past Liam. Liam does have that drive through to serve though. But that is a nightmare for Fempest, who's actually in a pretty good position as they're battling still the Mercedes, and that's round the outside. Mojo Bueno.
And he gets the move done, and I think VR's going to try and have a look at Liam as well, and he already does. He does make the move into turn 9, and there's Alan getting round outside of Liam into turn 10. It's a brilliant move. Oh, but Liam's got the traction.
Great traction
and the battery.
Well. But I mean, Liam's race is chalk though anyway because of that drive through penalty. It's a 1.5 second lead from Smoke to Van Dorn. Another 1.2 back to Morgan, but Paul's right on the back of Morgan. But he's got to get past him, have a chance of winning his race because, as you said earlier, you know, you've got to look after those softs to the end. And I believe someone else in the chat put out as well. But my oh my, what has happened? It's just where we cut to someone in the important battle, they just go round. And the Smoke gets fastest lap with a 28.2. Morgan under pressure from Paul. Morgan has that 3-second penalty anyway, so that will drop him quite a fair bit back. To be fair, as we see the Williams driver, great drive from him down the inside at turn 1. And Donkai needs to get a move on if he wants to try and catch Smoke, but where he's just waiting near the end, get it done. Who knows exactly? As we see nothing else, and there's a Williams.
Oh, there's a car off in the background. There's a car off in the background there. I just seen it whizzing by, and I think that might be Hammy is best. I think I used to be Beast, but Hammy is best off the back in the background. There's a Ferrari off, and that's Morgan, and everybody is just spinning off camera. Like, come on!
Nikita Mazepin would be having a party right now. He's spun again as Hammy trying to get back on the track, so that's not a good viewing for the Haas drivers.
Oh, and he's spun again. On the exit of turn 4, and see, picture like do you remember Bahrain this season in real life? And Nikita did just flee off to the left-hand side. It was literally that. I've just seen that wee white speck in the background just fleeing off.
He's still having issues.
He's just spun again.
Yeah,
he's just spun again on that auto spin curb.
He's got like 11 seconds penalties as well. But I mean, it's gonna. I wouldn't put my money again. I would put my money on one of the top 3 spinning at this rate. I'd put my money on it. I mean, what should it be a blimmin' Sam and Ranga 1-2 at the end of this? If that does happen, everything for the season's done. It'd be incredible. Like,
see, this is the kind of thing about the first race of the season for anybody though. Is like we don't know. Like, it's 8 laps. I'm not going to be too surprised. I'll be more surprised if nothing happens for 8 laps than get another spin.
Just wait for Monaco.
Exactly, and I can see the dot for Hammy as well.
He's just
the right hand side, and he's just weaving. Like, you see his dot just weaving down that back straight down to turn 13. So I don't know if he's just kind of down tools and that's it. Like,
yeah, he's put. I think he's going pits. Yeah, so we'll probably retire it in the pits.
Well, this is he's retired, so we've went from 28 to 12, and the closest battle at the moment as Elite is keeping himself just inside Ranga's DRS, and it will be enabled this lap actually, so he should have DRS going down the straight into turn 1 should he get a good enough exit and burn a wee bit of the battery here just to get himself back in it. He is literally right on the edge. Gets a good exit here, he gets right back underneath the Red Bull's rear wing, and he does get a bit of a slide on the traction, but but he's no near enough yet. He needs to start burning some of this battery to try and get into the dirty air and get himself into a position to attack. But Smoke again, Scar, is just booing that gap out. I think Van Dorn, like you were saying, is maybe just biding his time and keeping the tyre life somewhat sustainable But
Exactly.
I feel like if Smoke builds a big enough gap, then I feel like Smoke's race to lose. I think Beast said that in the chat as well. Literally, Smoke's race to lose, although the stuff's be hard to make it to the end. And I feel like I share that exact same sentiment. So very, very interested to see how it goes on.
I mean, you've also got to look at potentially track limits, penalties, how many warnings each driver has had as well. It's 3 warnings for a penalty. You don't want to be getting one of them unless, you know, you can pull that gap if you're confident enough to do it. As we see Morgan dropping it in our favourite section. I believe that's again, he's done that. And I don't think he's even started to drive for yet. No, he hasn't. But this has not been a great race, you know, a driver's perspective of that. You know, you're keeping it on track and all that. But another fight as we see Elite getting closer and closer to Rangi. You can probably hear the people with a party, you know, next door's house.
It's a good night for a good Friday night for a petty.
Yeah, I mean, I hope they'd be watching this race, but I doubt they are. They're probably getting drunk and doing a lot more other stuff as we see that gap between Risk and Ranga.
For 31 viewers in this race, this is the petty. As Ranga does go defensive down the pit straight, as he's going to take Elite to the right hand side, but he's going to allow Elite up the inside into the braking zone. Elite gives him the squeeze, takes the place. Ranga's gone for the switch back. He is going to try it again. He should have DRS going up into turn 4.
Go for
Elite
a move.
will go defensive. No, he's going to let him have the inside, so Ranga should be retaking the place. Ooh. He does run a bit wide, and Elite does just have to slot back in behind. This will be a beautiful brewing battle for P5 in the final laps.
Paul getting very close to Van Dorn as well, I will say, 3.5 tenths. That is gaining
Paul's
as well.
And Paul's getting a wee bit rosy underneath the Ineos sponsorship there, underneath Van Dorn's rear wing there as well. So a lot of battles starting to kind of hit their boiling point, Scott, as the race comes to its final laps.
What I will say though as well, if you look at LP Smoke's battery, he's got 86%. Van Dorn and Paul together have around 63 combined. So that's going to be massive, I think. That's what Smoke's kind of relying on, is his battery usage, you know, when the tyres start to go off. As we see a potential move going into turn 1, it will be, once we get there, for Paul, if he can get the exit right, he'll probably get past Van Dorn. As we see, he had to, you know, lift off the accelerator a little bit, but it's, you know, gaining time. DRS open, no overtake from either driver. I know Van Dorn is using his. As we see, we're going to go for a move. He is going to go for it down the inside at turn 1. Gets the move done. Little luck up, you can hear, if the stream can pick it up. Is looking for a switch back into Van Dorn, back up the run, up the hill to turn 4. Van Dorn will then get past. Is it going to be another switchback attempt from Paul? Is he going to fight it around the outside? Let's see. No, he's going for the switchback, but it's just the traction there. But he did actually gain a little bit going out of it, as we see Ranga's now past Risk. Is they going to go side by side, I believe, through the section? No, Risk does back off, but with his fight back to Paul. Oh my word, almost in the back of Van Dorn then. Luckily, you know, no damage or even contact between them. That'll put a fight to the end of this lap at least. But this is getting close now. We'll have 5 laps once we go past the checkered flag. Past the checkered flag, past the start line even. Getting way too ahead of myself.
Just waving the checkered flag early. No, it's not the real one, lads. Keep going.
My English vocabulary coming out brilliantly. Yeah, Van Dorn getting, you know, he's teething around that 4 tenths gap, a little bit deeper on the brakes. He's going to allow, you know, Van Dorn that better exit, but he's got barely any battery. You can see the red light flashing if you're watching Paul's side, obviously below 20%, that's when it starts flashing. As we are going to potentially see this move try and stick. You also got to be careful of Risk in the back. Looking at Ranga going into turn 1 when they get there, as we see Paul go for it again into turn 1. That's part 1 of the plan. Can he get part 2 of the plan and keep it in front? We'll see. Up run to turn 4, very close indeed. Almost. As Risk does get past Ranga as well in the back, if you look at the full track map. He's not going to go from with this time, so Paul's just got to build on that gap now. That in fact he is ahead of Van Dorn, but he's also got to be careful of his tyres. I can hear you.
I've been trying to kind of balance your commentary, jumping on Tappy, the 2 battles that were unfolding. I jumped back onto Elite and he just resumed the racing line right in front of Ranga, and it looked like, for the angle I saw it, it looked like it was going to just be Ranga looking like it was going to hit into the back of him, but again, it was the whole kind of like differentiation in speeds and trying to measure that, and Elite does take the place. So it'll be up to Ranga to try and keep himself in the DRS and try and go for it again into turn 1.
Van Dorn still having a look at Paul now as we go around turn 12. No spins there as we into that's 12 now even. Oh, this will be a massive, remaining 4 laps for these drivers who can get, that second place, get that start in your driver championship on us joint constructors as well. So you want to start off on the right foot as we see almost in the gearbox of the Sofia based Swans on the back now as we see DRS as a car at the top. That'll be Dream Team. He is now out of the race. I think we're too late for a safety car. Could be wrong. Virgil and Van Dorn's passed as well. That
just in time. It's a full safety car.
It's been upgraded. I think who's going to play track position though? That's the big question. Who's going to take the risk? Because it's going to be in with 2 racing laps to go. So it'll be in at the start of lap 28. There'll be no DRS. You've just got to turn yourself into an 18-wheeler truck.
And see, honestly though,
Morgan
that
Pitts
is probably the biggest. That is the biggest kick in the teeth to Smoke, who had a 3-second gap, good battery. His tyres are nearing the end. He'll get time to manage them, but he'll have to be so defensive on these final 2 laps. It should come in by the end of next lap anyway, so it'll just be one safety car lap. No, Morgan's got to go around.
It'll be, it'll be lap 28 start of, it'll be in. We've done no
end of lap 27.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
No, so 2 lap
28, yeah.
Aye, 2 racing laps, no, that's fine. Do you think anybody will come in and just risk track position for a good brand new fresh set of rubber?
Oh, if you're chucking away the win, if you're maybe P9, 10, like Liam for example, or maybe even any of the AlphaTauris, you may as well just chuck on a set of softs, just see what you can do. But I don't. Van Dorn's backing off a fair bit though, so whether that's obviously Delta as well, whether it's a gap he's looking for to convince Smoke to pit. No.
Smoke Disney pit. Smoke stays out. Does Van Dorn come in? He does.
Pulls
in.
No, he's not.
He crossed the line.
He has dummied absolutely no one. in the process, I will say, because Sam's 2 seconds back. We do see. There's even more baiting going on.
I'm honestly surprised. Nobody's gone for it. But is it the question that nobody's gone for it because they might not make it to the queue in time?
No, I think it's just more the gap. If it was bigger gaps, like there wasn't a safety car halfway through this race, you're probably looking at it as like a guarantee. But I think it's you're in that that 2-3 second period, when it's only out for a lap or whatever. It's just not worth it, I don't think, unless you're dying on the set of tyres, or maybe even serving a 5 or 10 second single penalty. But this is gonna be thrilling. The only one that did pit was Morgan, but I think that might have been as well to get some penalties removed. I could be wrong on that. No, it must have been damage or something. But this is it. This is gonna be even more breathtaking than the first 2 starts we've had.
Exactly, and it'll be Smoke on one rubber as well, so he'll probably be he'll have that in his mind, knowing that his rears on there is up to scratch now on the other restart, so he'll probably be I think he might be a bit more cautious on the restart, just purely so he does this, light up the rears, because when tyre wear goes at Bahrain, it's normally the rears that get the most punishment just because of the heavy traction zones like turn 1, 4, 7, 10. They are your heavy traction reliant zones as well. As the safety car does come in, the lights come off, the Mercedes in front, and it is the Aston Martin, is Smoke, leading us away on the restart star.
I used to play COD with a guy called Stars that used to get so confusing in the comms.
Like a Star and Scar.
Yeah, it didn't work well for long story short. But here we go. So you got the 2 soft runners. What can they do at the front 3? Smoke's gone for it, I'm pretty sure. He's gone for it. You've got to commit. As we go, he's caught him napping again. That happened in the first safety car restart. Here we go then. 2 laps of pure hardcore racing then, with a bit of management as well, as we see the gap 7.5 temps roughly going down by a second. There'll be no DRS at the end.
And it's the battle for P5 there, as Ranga's got to try and go around the outside of Elite with a nice wee corner cut there for good measure through turn 2, but Elite keeps the place. Nobody's really changed position, but Ranga's going to go for it again up the inside into turn 4, and Elite's holding it round the outside. Ranga's got a bit of a slide on. is he has to just settle back into P6 again.
Down
But
in the
Morgan on the soft tyres into the points.
Yeah, but he's got
I
a
don't know
penalty.
if that's a
3
time
second,
penalty.
3 second.
Right, so it's time
I checked
penalty.
earlier, but then the big fight up front, closest gap roughly is around 5 tenths. That Sam Paul's gone massively wide in the zone, but he's going to get away with it for now. Very, very lucky. It's not one of those he's on traction and he's kind of caused it, but up towards turn 11, no, 10 even. Up for 11. This is going to be interesting. Does Sam, use all that battery? There's a lot of battery usage from Van Dorn. He was doing that in the early parts of the race. Looking at the traction, Sam Paul goes a bit wide. He is struggling on the restart with the soft. So Sam is now going to get through to P3 on the podium places. And this is the chasers on. Can Sam do this as we go on to the last lap then? This is
Crucially
it. This is going to be
there's no DRS.
Yeah. That's going to be huge for Smoke, maybe for Paul to avoid losing more. He's got a big gap back to risk for one lap of racing's sake. But here we go then, Van Dorn chasing, hounding at the back of the Aston Martin car. As you see, towards turn 4 we go. Don't have to be more battling. It might be between Morgan and VR in the Alpha Tauri, but that'd probably be something we don't look at too much as we see the fight now. Van Dorn, he's got to get something done. Got to just hope for a mistake or produce some magic as we see into the hairpin then, hairpin part 1. Little bit wide from Smoke on the apex, that's going to give a huge little traction advantage almost for Van Dorn. Oh, looked like he was drifting into turn 8 or 9, I've lost track at this point. Up for what would be the DRS zone, what's he no DRS to use though? I think Smoke's got it in the bag unless there is a cataclysmic error as we go. On the curb goes Van Dorn. This is very crucial corners now as he goes through, avoiding that inside curb. Unless, this is gonna be close maybe. As we go down the back straight, Risky's got a penalty. Oh, that is massive. That was sending down to P8 as we see now around the final corner. Smoke round it comfortably, not to be enough overspeed in it. Checkered flag comes out. Smoke wins the Bahrain Grand Prix. Van Dorn in second. Sam in the Red Bull taking it home. Paul taken 4th because of the penalty for risk, and I can't see the rest of them. But my oh my, what a race! Where you look at the cars like Smoke, he kept it on the track and takes home 25 points.
And gets driver of the day by the game. So
that's just giving him in a load of places. But that's not taking any away from him. It's a brilliant drive at the end of the day. He's done his job very well, and it's a nice way to start the season for him. You see the trophy, and
definitely.
I'm not going to do the champagne voice.
Here comes the champagne.
The champagne.
So it's Aye, viewers, while we're still here, can we get your driver of the days? I'm going to ask myself and Scar. 17th to 1st, is it going to be Smoke? For me, I think it is. I mean,
you've got to give it credit where it's due. Paul as well. Paul. 19th to 4th. That's an unreal drive from him. Alan as well. Not Alan, sorry. BR from 18th on the grid. Some big places. Mostly, Smoke was one of those that kept it on track. Barely put a foot wrong. Stuck it out on the softs. Maybe you could have got a bit lucky, but then at the same time put the shift with the end safety car. But yeah, I've got to give it Smokey. Unreal drive from him. You don't see many winners from 17th on the grid, and almost a 19th place as well on the grid, getting a podium.
Definitely no. I feel like there's maybe only 3 drivers that have maybe kind of started further back in real life and across the league racing spectrum that have started further back and won. And we will get the top 3 into the party.
Oh.
Just for a quick chat. So that was, oh my god, who actually was it? It was Smokes, Van Dorn, and Sam.
You have to put the formally that Dario Franchetti voice. Dario Franchetti as well.
So we'll get.
It's Dario Franchetti from the TV. It's all I've got is impressions.
So we'll get Smoke. If we can get Smoke, Van Dorn and and
I think we left.
salmon.
Recent players. The Xbox menu thing's different to what
can,
I've
please.
got. So if we got first,
Just-
Van Dorn, did you say?
Smoke Van Dorn and Sam. TTM Sam,
Smoke.
SLR Van Dorn, and
We going one at a time,
LP
all
Smoke.
three.
One at a
Yeah, but Smoke. Oh,
Well, no, we'll get them all in,
yeah.
just so they're all here, but...
That'll be Smoke, that'll be... then the other one was Sam. That one shoot me. Oh,
But,
I'm getting me breath.
oh, so it's... interesting.
Wait, what have I done wrong?
No,
If
I just noticed Van Dorn coming in, and I was like, oh, it's
Yeah,
SLR
get all
Stoffel,
three
and
of
it's
them.
no SLR Van Dorn, but if we got Smoke in as well,
Yeah, all
so-
three.
Smashing. Right, do you want to do them, or... Because I'm no good with the questions.
Neither.
um,
I don't do this for
so, so
Actually, if
well,
if
just
we
that
might
we...
go.
Aye, just let us ken when you've all got your mics in, Troops, so we can hear your beautifully sweet voices after what has been a very chaotic, topsy-turvy race.
I can see him in the party over there.
Um,
Someone's trying to start a fight outside of us, I think. But Smoke, I don't know if we can hear or anything.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know if you're not. Mate,
but-
what a drive! 17th on the grid. Obviously, it wasn't the quality for you, but mate, you have pulled that out of the bag from out of nowhere. You know, what were you thinking during that?
I was just going along fine on the mediums, to be honest. The pace was feeling pretty good. And then just when the safety car came out, it was just, do you go to softs, do you go to hard? Then just, it was only a couple laps off, like stopping for softs, so I just thought I'd try it and just take it really easy behind the safety car. So that
Yeah, I
kind of
suppose. Keep going.
worked alright. Then we got that second safety car, which wasn't good. But I just went really early on the second safety car restart, and I think it just gave me enough a gap to hold on, because them tyres were dead on the last two laps.
See, you said it was a bad thing. I kind of thought it was a lucky thing as such, because you know you could have had an incident, you know, at the end.
Yeah,
I was. They could have just gone completely. I mean, it was brave regardless. But no, it's just what a drive. I haven't seen anything like that in a while.
a bit lucky, but I'll take it.
I mean, you've done your job. Obviously, I don't know how many of the incidents and the many spins you ended up seeing, but there was a lot.
There's
to
a few
handle.
cars flying around everywhere.
Yeah, it was chaos. But I mean, you know, you're leading the championship for that one race in. Is this something you can, you know, maybe build on? Maybe look at, you know, your race pace and think, I can just work on that, and maybe
I'll
use that
definitely
as
try.
a carry as such.
This is my first season turning line off, so to get off with a good start, to confidence booster anyway. I just need to
Especially when
try and learn each track.
confidence is key. You got, I believe it's China up next. You feeling confident about that? Personally?
No.
Brilliant. Anyway, I'm gonna let you enjoy your night. Congrats on the win, mate, and obviously massive job from you to get easy.
Cheers.
And Van Dorn, you know, second place for you. Got a little bit close to Smoke at the end. What were you feeling throughout that little battle at the end?
It was a good one. I enjoyed it. I think
Yes,
if I had a few more corners and if I got that safety car restart right, I probably could have had him, because obviously I could see that he was struggling on them tyres towards the end.
I said,
I
if you'd
enjoyed
had
it.
DRS. Yeah, it was.
If
It was
that
a real
if that
sort of
DRS was there.
probably would have won you the race, and we'd probably having a bit more of a different conversation as such. But then, I mean, keeping it on the track, especially with this car, the game's new physics and everything. How did you find that during the race? You know, to keep off that curb in the S section and turn 12.
I found it fine, but then obviously one lap took the same way through there every single lap, and then one of the laps the car didn't like it and it spun round, but luckily I got it straight back onto the track again.
Yeah, see, it's, you know, carried you through
I
a
didn't-
second.
Yeah, I didn't lose too much time, so
It's just the way the game is, mate. It's
broken.
it's a positive start though for you. Obviously, second, yeah, it's a great result, but yeah, you're a bit deceiving that, you know, you could have maybe, you know, took advantage of an early situation with spins to people like Ahmad. You know, more spins were out.
There's a little bit, but I'm happy with second because it's first race, but there's a bit of me knew that I could probably take that first.
like you said, 1 or 2 more laps maybe, and you were definitely getting that race win. Anyway, I'll let you go and enjoy your night. Congrats on the P2, and hopefully you can do. Hopefully you'll be on that top step of the podium soon.
Yeah. Cheers.
Riggs, if you want to do that, Sam. If you want.
Aye, Sam, you there, mate? You there, Chief?
Hello, yeah, hi.
What's happening? Sam, really consistent qualifying pace through front row start. I was sitting watching the start, and originally Rockamad did get the better launch, but you seemed to get the acceleration nailed pretty quick, and up the inside into turn 1, and you seemed to kind of build a really strong lead early on. Like, what was it like kind of starting like the first race of the season on the front row? Like, how were you feeling after your qualifying in the first stint? Because you did seem to generally just pull the gap out very early on, while everybody else was kind of fighting amongst themselves for P2.
Yeah, qualifying is awesome. I've been my last lap, I was 2/10 up. I could have had pole, but I'll still take second, first race of the season. I'll take it. But yeah, that first stint, I just tried to keep off the curbs because they can kill you, as you've seen, and just let everyone fight and build the gap. And then I did spin, half spin on that curb, but I still had the strategy advantage. So I'm a little bit disappointed that I didn't win, but P3, I'll take it any day of the week, first race.
And because I was sitting talking to Scar as well. I think this is when maybe disconnected, and I was like, I was on board with Van Dorn, like, as he was chasing you, because you were on 2 completely different strategies at that point, and I just seen you spinning on that same curve. I think everybody's at least done it once, like at some point through qualifying through the race. The curbs seem to be a very challenging aspect of the driving, so like, how does that like sit in your mind? Like, obviously you've had your spin, and like you kind of got yourself back into the race with the safety car and with the strategy and that. Like, what does that make you think about going forward into these early races, trying to get points early, like with the curbs being a bit more dangerous and act there as a detriment rather than an aid to the driver?
Yeah, it's just about staying safe at the moment, because the curbs compared to last game are so different. It's just trying to keep off them as best you can, but still trying to gain a bit of time. So it's a bit of nip and tuck, but yeah, it's just a learning curve right now.
And how are we feeling generally now that the first race is done, and I think we do have China next before we have the European stages. So how are you feeling there for the first race of the season, and what's the aspiration like for China?
Well, after this, I'm definitely confident that I can get a few wins there and here and be fighting every race. China, however, it's just no. I don't like it. It's just so bad.
To be fair, I share the same opinion, man. I've already got my holidays in for China, so.
Fair enough. Fair play.
Nah, I can't stand the track either, mate. It's probably one of my bogey circuits, so I share the same sentiment. But I suppose I suppose with the feeling China brings, like, I'm assuming it might maybe just be damage limitation then, or are we still aiming for the heights?
Yeah, China's just points, really. Just try and get in the points. That's all I can really aspire to for China.
It's no worries. Well, I just want to congratulate you and Van Dorn and Smoke on your podiums, and
Cheers.
a very strong start to the season for the Frees, and we look forward to seeing what China brings. Some might like it, some, just according to Sam, definitely don't. So we'll see how the drivers fare in a week's time.
Will be interesting. Yeah, I'm still there.
I know, that's fine, because you were radio silent there.
Yeah, no, I was just on my phone checking something, but no, if the racing and the drama's going to be like that, sign me up for this every week. When we've got the lead just spinning out, crashes, multiple car pile-ups. I mean, you don't want it, but you do at the same time, just for that bit of drama, especially when the race can be flat. But hopefully China does bring some, different. You know, maybe actually get some better racing than what we had here potentially in terms of more wheel to wheels. Obviously, you can get that at certain points. Obviously, dive bombs into the hairpin. I've had that once, and it kind of cost me a race when the guy was 8 tenths back. So it was It was disgraceful, but no, I cannot wait for us. We've got other divs as well to be watching. I don't know if I'm driving in Div 2 tomorrow. I don't think I am, but what is a special day for me? But you know, bring on the rest of the week.
Definitely. Now that we've got Division 1 sorted, we've got Division 2 tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, we've got Division 3 at 9, and we've got the Elite, the McKean Division at 7 on the Sunday, so there is plenty of racing content to get our teeth stuck into, and we hope that you'll join us for each of the 3 remaining races of the season, and I'll let Scar do the outro and round out the first stream of the first F1 stream of the weekend. We had F2 yesterday, so I'll let Scar do the conclusions and round it out.
I mean, yeah, so let's say early lead in that championship for Smoke. Obviously, a great drive from him. You don't see many wins from 17th. You know, you got leaders like Ahmad. He'll have a lot more to prove than the very few laps he did do in that race. Where does he, you know, regain? See how much of, you know, the composure and the finesse he can regain following his race-ending incident. But it's just going to be absolute. It's going to be a treat to watch. Hopefully, a treat for the drivers to drive. And bless you.
Oh, cheers. I'll try and hold that one in.
No, it's fine, mate. All love around here. But no, I say it's just great race. You know, you got surprise finishes. I say I don't think anyone's really talking enough about Paul's drive. You know, 19th to 4th, that's still impressive. You know, you've got to just keep on the track like, you know, Smoke did as well, and, you know, see out the drive. But apart from that, unless there's anything desirable you want to talk about or anything, that should wrap it up for tonight.
No, I feel like that's us. I feel like we've kind of covered all the bases, so I feel like we're free to round it out.
Yeah, I appreciate everyone sticking in through the tech issues. It's just Xbox and Twitch. They love to go hand in hand together at times. But I appreciate everyone that did stick in through that, you know, difficult period of, I would say watching, but it isn't even watching. But I appreciate everyone that did stick out through that, everyone that tuned in, you know, helping the league grow and all that as well. So it's just great to put on a show like we did. And like I said, about 4 times already, bring on, you know, the other races next week in the season.
Absolutely right, and I feel like with that, I feel like it's time for us to go. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next stream.
Ciao.